You ever get a phone call so ridiculous it makes you laugh out loud in the dark? That's exactly what happened to me. 3:30 in the morning. Pitch black phone buzzing like it had something important to say. I thought maybe someone was in the hospital. Turns out, it was the HOA. "Good morning," chirped this syrupy voice on the voicemail. Way too perky for the hour. "This is Trina from the Sunridge Meadows Homeowners Association. We have an opportunity for you to help the community. Please call back within 15 minutes. Then she hung up. No context. No emergency. Just help the community at 3:30 a.m. I stared at the ceiling clock, glowing red, and let out this kind of half-laugh, half-sigh, because I already knew this was gonna be one of those stories. So yeah, I'm Ray, 36 mechanical engineer. I work from home. 2 years ago, I bought this cozy little place with a finished basement big oak tree, out front wraparound porch. The HOA was mildly annoying, the usual stuff. Mailbox, paint, trash bins, but manageable. Until they changed. New board, new attitude. New president named Trina. She and her crew called themselves the Uplift Committee. Sounds nice, right? It wasn't. 2 days after that absurd wake-up call, a fat envelope showed up in my mailbox. Certified mail. Inside was this slick packet titled Community Hospitality Initiative. First page screamed in bold red. Action required. They'd apparently designated my basement as a guest suite for visiting scholars from a local college. I was to provide free lodging, bed, bath, kitchenette for up to 60 nights a year. No rent, just for the greater good. I was supposed to hand over keys, a schedule of my comings and goings, and agree to random inspections. All in 10 days. In return, early access to the neighborhood pool on Wednesdays. Oh, and expert curb appeal tips from a teenager on the landscaping committee. You can't make this stuff up. I double-checked the CC Plus and Rs, the rules that govern this place. Section 4.2 clearly says no one can force commercial or quasi-commercial use without consent. Not only was this wrong, it was illegal. So I started documenting voicemails, letters, timestamps, every little detail. Then I emailed my real estate attorney, Chris. His reply, "They're insane. Do not give them anything." End of story, right? I wish. That Friday, 4 HOA volunteers in matching vests showed up in my driveway with clipboards ready to inspect my basement. One of them, Leon, looked like he took his job way too seriously. "We're here for the inventory," he said, like I was a hotel concierge. I just smiled and said, "Nope, it's mandatory." He snapped. "Great. Show me a law or a warrant." They left mumbling and snapping photos of my house, but not before I waved for the camera. By that afternoon, I got an email. Friendly reminder, $150 fine. Due in 30 days. Friendly, huh? At that point, I wasn't just angry, I was locked in. I printed everything, typed up a detailed summary, citing state laws and HOA rules, and dropped it in every mailbox in the neighborhood. That Sunday, my front yard turned into a town hall. Neighbors pulled up folding chairs and coffee mugs. Turns out, I wasn't alone. Valerie, a retired nurse, got a letter about turning her garage into a guest suite. Marcus, a former Air Force guy, got fined for non-cooperation. We called ourselves the Homeowner Rights Crew. Then came the twist. Marcus dug into public financial records. He's the type who reads fine print and found a $12,000 consulting fee paid to a company owned by Trina's college roommate. Maple Street hospitality. Never heard of it. Neither had the college. We filed a petition to call a special meeting. Needed 22 signatures we got. 39 in 48 hours. That's when it got darker. One night, I found a shoebox on my porch, shredded HOA bylaws soaked in lighter fluid with a matchbook on top. Labeled Maple Street Hospitality. I called the cops. That little stunt didn't scare me. It just lit a fire. The special meeting was packed. Elementary school gym folding chairs, groaning under the weight of frustration. Trina and her board sat at a long table trying to look dignified. I took the mic and laid it all out. Ours laws. Threats, fake consulting fees. Valerie talked about her grandkids waking up to strangers shaking the doorknob. Marcus talked numbers. By the time we took the vote, 81-3. Trina was done. Or so we thought. The next morning, our interim committee entered the HOA office. Lights on, cabinets open, paper shreds everywhere, computer tower gone. Trina had tried to erase the trail. Problem was, she missed a backup drive. Our investigator found it later at her secretary's house. Emails, forged minutes, kickback schemes, all of it. And Vaughn, the VP, he was caught on my ring cam days later, crouching by my basement window with a crowbar and 2 blank key cards. I hit the panic button, cops showed up, and that was that. He sobbed in the squad car. Said Trina made him do it. Trina ended up in court. Vaughn testified. So did the secretary. Jury didn't take long. Guilty fraud, conspiracy, burglary, tampering. 3 years in prison, 10-year HOA ban restitution. The best part, our neighborhood came out stronger. We rebuilt the playground, passed new bylaws, no HOA contact after 9 p.m., no fines without outside review, no major expenses without transparency. And yeah, I got close to Tessa, a neighbor who'd stood by me from the start. Her daughter June moved in too. One night she asked if our tomato plants were guard plants. I said, yep. They keep HOA board members away. She nodded like I'd just told her a fairy tale. Months later, I got one last letter. No lawyer name, no threats. Just a card from the new board inviting me to a little event to unveil a plaque honoring residents who stood up when things got ugly. I showed up. The plaque just said, "To those who chose courage when silence was easier." And for once, the whole place felt quiet in a good way. But here's the thing. Where do you draw the line? When does a homeowners association cross from keeping things tidy to trying to run your life? Drop a comment below. What would you have done? Let's talk about what community means, and what happens when power forgets its purpose. And hey, if this story hit home, hit that like button, share it with someone who's dealt with HOA headaches, and don't forget to subscribe. More real stories coming soon.